sponsored by 666bet.com.
Does it feel being so close to fulfilling your dream now?
Yeah, I mean, since I've been in boxing, that's all I wanted to be as world champion. You know, Frank's delivered that now. We set back and see who wins out of Cobroff and Lee. But at the minute now, it's going to be a nice rest. Sit down with Jimmy and that, and meet up with Frank. Probably after the Christmas or so, or just before, and we'll see our route of plan where we're going to go.
Is that the furthest you've had to dig? Because you
Yeah,
pushed very hard.
very extremely hard. But listen, when people, it looks a lot different in there. When people look at me fight and they see me in there and they think, oh yeah, I could come on here and I really could push. I know his weaknesses. It's a lot different when you're in the ring with me. It's a lot different. People will tell you that. Chris will tell you that tonight. To be honest with you, I got a bit complacent with him because for the first, from 1 to 6, it was easy. The second round I wobbled him. I caught him with a good shot. I caught him with a right hook. I caught him with, and I see his legs dip, and I got a little bit complacent. But you know, fair play to him. He come on the 7th, the 8th. You know, I nicked maybe the 9th and the 10th was ease. The 11th you could have give either way, and the 12th, you know, I made him miss, and I just dug that last bell.
Who would you fancy out of the two lads who are fighting for the world title? Who do you think's going to win? Who would you rather? Have you got a preference to?
Listen, boxing's boxing. Good luck to whoever wins out of both of them. You know, it's not who I want to win, it's who deserves to win, who trains the hardest and who deserves it. But, you know, you've got to go with Korobrov, but I won't be surprised if Lee takes him.
Why is that?
You've got a big punch. If he catches you, he'll take you out.
I think that, and Lee's got very good range, and we haven't seen the best. It hasn't come through how he was as amateur Korobrov. I think that, you know, living in Russia, gone to America, a few quid, bit of fame, and gone a little bit to him, and maybe he's took his eye off the ball a little bit. But it's for a world title, so they'll both be G'd up for it.
Yeah.
Billy, what was behind wearing those gloves? They're winning gloves, aren't they?
Winning gloves, yeah.
They're a bit softer. Was there any strategy behind that?
No, I think that, you know, we all know that me and him don't like each other, and I just wanted to find the best gloves for the most pain, to be honest. So I didn't care about my hands. I thought, right, let's just do it. And I felt them, and I've seen them before, tried them on. They were soft, and I thought, yeah, they'll do. So that's the reason why. And I spar in winning anyway. Right. But I think I'll be using them from now on, I think.
Well, they're winning gloves.
That's it. I'm the winner, aren't I?
Would you respect him, Matt?
Listen, deep down, I respect him anyway as a fighter. Like I say, to get in that ring, and you know, and you got to have. I don't care who you are and who you don't. You got a bottle to get in there. You know, put yourself through agony for 7-8 weeks, whatever. Go away and train. You know, so I respect him. Yeah. You know, I still think he's a cunt, but what can you do? Well, that's it. I've beat him, and listen. He said he was prepared to die in the ring to defend his own. Well, I just took it, and there's nothing you can do about it. But listen, please, got to be world champion. I wouldn't say no to a rematch. That's for definite.
Did you exchange any words with him?
Listen, he was fair. He said, listen, the better man won. He said it was a split decision. Even he said it was a fair decision. You know, there was no arguments or no disappointments from his side. They knew it was close. It was very close. He pushed me, but you know, I won the fight. I felt I won it when I was in there as well.
He seemed to be chatting to you a lot during the fight, Billy. Can you remember what he was saying?
No, he was just saying. You said if you don't stop me in 4 rounds now, that you've got to give up boxing. But my jab was working perfectly, and I thought I'm not going to try for anything. But then I sort of got involved a little bit. You know, I was sticking to me boxing. Then the next thing I knew, I was probably listening to him talking. You know, and I suppose it was a game plan that his dad probably told him. But yeah, I got in a little bit of a mix with him, and the next thing I know, I'm slugging it inside. You know, and what else I thought is his dad mentioning the referee. You know, his dad saying about the ref that watch bit over Billy Joe tonight because he's going to be in trouble. His dad, he said it in 2 or 3 interviews, and I felt the ref tonight. Not saying he did a bad job, but he could have done a little bit better job for me, I think.
Do you think it's unfinished business, Billy? Do you think you'll meet him again a year or so down
Well,
the
look,
line too?
now this was a big fight. I've got big things ahead of me. He's at the back now. He's forgot about. You know, same as I beat Nick Blackwell, Ryder, and all that. You know, I put the pressure on myself. People saying, "Why are you saying if he beats you, you're going to retire?" Because if he beats me, am I going to be world champion? Yeah, he's good, but fighters like him shouldn't be beating me.
Frank, what's a fight like that do for Bill's profile? Because obviously he's been around for a long time.
I mean, I thought one thing which was really, I don't mean, I'll not say surprising, but one thing that I thought was was really encouraging is the way the crowd took to Bill when he come in the ring. I mean, the whole venue was cheering him, and I was quite surprised at that. Not nothing against him. I thought, normally you got your fans cheering and the other guys but it weren't like that at all. They got behind Bill completely. So I think, as far as his profile is concerned, it's and we talked about it as well before the fight. I said, Bill said, do I need to fight him? What does it do by fighting him? He's never fought at his level and so forth. And as I said to Bill, I said, believe it or not, because of the name and only because of the name, it'll raise your profile, and that's exactly what's happened now.
Yeah.
And it has raised his profile.
You been a little bit twitchy, Bill, when they said it was a split decision.
I knew in there. I felt my own self. I thought when they said it was close, when the fight finished, Jimmy said in the corner, out of the 6th round, I let him in on the 7th, and Jimmy told me, he said, listen, you got to dig now because you're letting him back in. Then I was mixing it a little bit, and I knew. I thought, I've lost that round as well. I knew. Then the 9th round come, and I thought, right, get me jab going a little bit. But then it come to, the more ego set in then, and I thought, right, I'm going to be the stronger man. And, I think that's a big learning point for me. I don't need to do that. I should have got back right my jab. But yeah, getting back to your question, I think that... What was your question again?
Were you getting a bit twitchy when they said it?
No, split decision. I looked at Frank's face and I knew. Well, yeah, I got it.
He said to me, have I got this or not? And I said to him, I'm not going to tell you. I said, you can suffer like I have the last 2 rounds.
Bill, do you anticipate Chris EUBANK JNR going on to become a kind of world-class fighter and challenge for world honours?
Well, he's been beat, isn't he? So he's obviously doing something wrong. To be honest with you, a good technical boxer would find him all day long. And at world level, the technical boxers. I think that if you look, he struggled from 1 to 6 with the jab. My left hand wasn't even to play tonight for some reason.
And if you were playing your left hand, it would have made a lot of difference.
Yeah, and it was. I think it was the left hand. If you look in round 2, you can look back. It wobbled him. I knew I hurt him because I see it in his eyes well, and I see his legs dip, and he went for a walk, and I let him off the hook a little bit because I felt it was easy. I thought this is getting a bit easy, but then I let him back in, and obviously I made it a little bit hard for myself.
In terms of preparation for the world title fight, is that exactly what you needed?
I think to be in that sort of fight where you're winning, then it's nip and tuck, then you got to dig. Yeah. Some fighters are just quit, but like I've always said, there's no quit in me. I'll always find a way somehow. I'll always find a way to win, and I think that is the perfect preparation to learn from. Because I now need to know that I can outbox someone for 6, 7 rounds, but I can't get complacent. I've got to keep that up for 12 rounds. It's no good doing it for 6, 7 because one punch can change anything.
Did his dad say any interview after the fight though?
His dad said, "Thanks for giving me son a beating." No, listen, his dad shook me hand afterwards. But he knew he didn't argue with the decision. If it was a robbery, then I first say, well, I thought I was lucky. But it was a close fight. But I think
I don't know how the judge gave it to him the way he scored it. 3 points. I mean, I don't know what that was all about.
It was a close fight, but also inside you couldn't really see. He was a stronger fighter inside, Chris was tonight, and I think inside the work when we was working away, every time I seemed to get my distance and I wanted to go inside, we'd get pulled apart and sent away. But every time Chris was inside working, it was sort of left to carry on. And he did hold me a couple of times and rabbit a punch back of the head a couple of times. He got 2 warnings for it. Then the 3rd one, I thought a point should have been took off, but he didn't get a point.
I think as well, you
The Big Fight, sponsored by 666bet.com.